Hello everyone, I'm Gary Martin and today I'm going to be showing you how to strike a perfect iron shot. So this is a video that's been inspired by a couple of my friends that I've recently met up with on a stag do who I would class as sort of really casual golfers. You know, they may play once a week through the summer, and they were telling me that they've been watching all my videos and they were really enjoying them, but they said, Gaz, it's no good showing us these awkward lies, we need to know how to hit it from a normal lie. So I thought, why not do a video to try and help you improve your ball striking? And, some of you might be thinking, well, there's no such thing as like sort of one swing fits all, and I would completely agree with that. But the 3 tips that I'm going to give you today are something that anybody can implement to help with their ball striking. So it's not sort of swing changes so much, it's key principles that I think about in my golf swing when I'm practicing to make sure that I strike the ball really well. So the first tip to striking a good iron shot, and this is something you should all be doing in your warm-up, is having a full practice swing. And what I mean by that is thinking about the sequence of movement in your swing. I see so many people get lazy with the lower half of the body and the club's descending and the body stops turning. So it's going to really encourage you to strike the ball heavy or make some extreme compensations to actually strike the ball, attempt to try and strike the ball clean. So if you bottom off stalls and you don't turn your hips and your chest to target, then if you can see there, the club is really going to hit the floor heavy unless you make these compensations. So simply just thinking about your belt buckle and your chest rotating to target on the downswing. So hips and chest turn to target and hold that finish. Just warm your body up and get that feeling. I don't want to see practice swings where people do this, because that's getting yourself into a bad sort of habit and not clearing your lower half. So I think right knee towards the left knee, like this, that starts the turn of the lower half, the hips, and then shoulders follow. So hips and chest to target and hold that finish. I try and get a little bit of a feeling like the hands are working in association with the shoulders, so there's no sort of disassociation where we get to here and then the hands come first. I try and feel like this triangle from the top of my swing, it all comes together as one unit. It starts as a whole. So hips and chest to target and hold that finish. So get your body turning and working correctly. That were a nice strike, but I will admit I have warmed up a little bit. Now the second tip is keeping your width in your downswing. All right, what I never understood as a sort of higher to mid handicap golfer was that when we getting the club descending towards the ball, we shouldn't be attacking the ball so much. That might sound crazy, but I used to think because we want to hit the ball then the grass, that you had to really attack the ball and feel that you've got this steep angle so you hit the ball then the grass after the ball. And it's not quite true, because that can encourage a top shot where you hit the top of the ball, because you're trying to put your weight too much on your left side, so your cheek moves in front of the ball and you get all that weight on that left side and you almost come over the top of the ball. All right, in a golf swing we've got to try to stay behind the ball, so we want the left cheek to feel like it's staying on the back edge of the ball, and we've got to get the club feeling like it's descending towards the back foot. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little gate down. Got 2 tees, and I'm going to put a little gate here which lines up with the back foot, and from the top of my backswing I've got a visual aid then to try to get that club feeling as though I'm trying to get to the low point towards the back foot. Now if you don't turn your lower half, like we said earlier, that club's going to dig, it's going to hit the ground heavy. But if you actually get a sensation of the club falling towards your back foot and turn the hips and the chest at the same time, you will sweep the surface and strike the bottom of the ball. Really well struck again. And then finally, and I see this pretty much in myself sometimes as well, even as a really low handicapper, it's easy to get lazy when you're sort of taking this left arm away from your body. And we've all seen it, especially amongst like maybe ladies and seniors, and they get this sort of really big bend in their elbow here, okay? So they get really steep and narrow in the backswing, and that encourages then a very steep angle of attack. And again, you know, if you don't get the bottom point of your swing right, then it could sort of cause tops and very heavy shots. So one of the things that I like to rehearse is just getting my right hand, popping it on my shoulder here, and feeling as I move this arm underneath my chest, I get some extension and get some width and try and get them hands a little bit away from the body. I don't want you to be like a robot, you know, I don't want to see, you know, this motion where you're really sort of stretching and feel like a robot and uncomfortable. And almost, we don't mind, you know, we're not professional athletes here. We don't mind if there's a little bit, you know, a little bit of bend here in the elbow as you turn back. We're not sort of, you know, like I said, we're not athletes, we're not perfect, but just be conscious that you're not getting too narrow here and steep at the top of your backswing. You know, we need to try to feel like we keep them hands away from his body, and on the way down as well, if we're going to get that club descending towards the back foot, we don't want the hands to come and get stuck in here. So that's where, you know, when you're in the downswing, you don't want that pulling motion. You've got to remember the sequence of movements. When we get to the top of your backswing, we turn in the body, the hips and the chest, and we're letting the weight of the club head fall a bit more towards your back foot. And then as your body turns, it brings the ball to the bottom of its arc. It brings the club to the bottom of its arc, right towards the back of the ball. So just demonstrate that again. I'm turning away with the shoulders and trying to keep them hands away from my body. Feel that little bit of stretch away from the shoulder. And then on the way down, I'm trying to feel that club head fall towards my back foot, hips and chest to target, and turn into the follow through. Trying to feel like that left cheek stays glued on the back of the ball, so I'm not sort of swaying forward in the swing. That's 3 really well struck iron shots, and I've actually thought about this a lot more today than I probably would do in a normal practice session. It's really helped my ball striking, and I really hope it helps yours. And I appreciate the feedback from Lou, it was Lou Fothergill, who said to me, Gaz, we want to know how to hit a normal shot. So, you know, these next few lessons, I'm going to do a little bit more on normal shots, whether it's normal chip shots, normal pitch shots, you know, normal driving shots, and, you know, maybe get back onto the awkward lies. But I think there is a bit of a demand, like Lou said, for knowing a little bit more about the simple ones. So I hope you've enjoyed that, guys, and get in the comments if there's anything else you'd like to see, and I'll see you at the weekend. Bye.